20th edition of Vodafone Ghana Music Awards. I pass to 18th May. I enter into 19th May Sunday no. Akogu. By a whole sense and the me and share Emanen call just like that. Selena Babasa in same year. I saw to me call Omwa Music Shame and I saw put event together. Now Omodi and Komo. Mokran business at the assembly. A call a police station. I'm come report. I'm a Abedu baby Edri. So I'm here at Charterhouse coming to talk to the head of communication here at the company, George into brackets Abwaji Kwe. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Nice to see you.
Yes.
It's not been easy, but we are good.
20 years of VGMS. How many years have you been with the company?
Since I think I only missed the first 6 years of it. So technically I've done about 13, 14 years. Yeah, because I've been here since 2006 and we're in 2019 now. So I've been part of the production team from 2006 to date.
Obviously, eka VGMS and Charterhouse as a synonym George Kwe bibia unihu.
Team no doso. It's just that mano me kasa cheap. Just because I speak, I'm the spokesperson internet. Man yes me nkwana me bibia, but no forget menya hwe. Omo mu yedwuma na nkasa mu echi. May I just talk? I don't do anything at all.
So 14 years with the company. How have you seen the awards so far? 20 years Nina.
Oh, it's grown and evolved. I mean, it's not the same since I joined. I think the very first one was at the National Theatre, 2006 edition, MCA National Theatre, and I think that one we had American artist Jaru cry performer. You know, and then we've had subsequent ones. In those days, now you were beach concerts, no. Into the ABB area, you be a beach concert. Now your science war gospel rock show. Into we had a events now. Whatever gospel rock show the Sunday after the Saturday of the event. Then the following week also we would have a beach concert at ABB. So the dynamics have changed as we go along. A lot more concentration has been on the main event night. Also from stage design, from light and plots, from sound. Even the performances on the stage have improved tremendously. Internet definitely. I mean, it's not been the same. Yeah.
At what point did Vodafone come inside?
Let me see. I think when I joined, it was Ariba. Then later on, of course, Ariba to MTN, and then Vodafone, if I'm not mistaken, has been on for 8 to 9 years. Yeah, between 8 and 9 years. Just around the 2010 thereabouts. Yeah, I think it was around that part that they took over, if I'm not mistaken. I check a crowd, but yeah, it's been about 8 to 9 years, almost 10. Yeah.
Let's fast forward to this year's edition. Was a honor in Sembebe no ewo. When did you start planning for this particular event?
Oh, you always start planning as soon as the last one is over. Internet planning has been happening since we finished the last edition, which was last year's edition, main auditorium of the conference center. And since that very, very evening, planning has been ongoing for this year's edition. And that is why some of us get very emotional, because a lot of work went into this edition. And just as it was about to get more exciting, it was scripted and planned in a way that every new scene has every different new experience. So it was going to end on a very, very big high. And then everything went sour, unfortunately.
Okay, more planning from last year, Sabisu this year. More planning from last year, was it in mind that we see dome? Because I'm for us a dome, no, it came into the picture at the latter part.
What people don't realize is that discussions for that dome have been going on for almost 2 years, if I'm not mistaken, or if not 3. There have been back and forth, there have been interactions, there have been consultations, there have been, designs, change design, it looks like it's last minute to a lot of people, but it's something that has been ongoing for a long time. What delayed it was that final accent to be able to break the soil and say, okay, this is the go ahead, start work. And once a property near government property, the space where the dome is sitting belongs to the government. And sometimes when you are dealing with governments, where you need to go to, who you need to talk to, letters you need to send, feedback and don't blame government. They also need to do due diligence to be sure they are giving the property to the right people. And of course, PPP, public-private partnership of a sort. The values have to be well determined. The benefits to both parties have to be well determined. Will it even be relevant to the state at all? Will it be beneficial to the country in any way? They also need to do a lot of work. You cannot blame them, but just that it looks very quickly raised to a lot of people because the opportunity to break the ground, it came in a little late.
So how many days or weeks did you use to put it up?
4 days.
4 days?
The dome came up in 4 days.
And was it up to the standard?
Debbie, when you look at the design of the dome, you realize that what was done for the VGMS was makeshift. But it was good to push us to get the dome done. And we are sure that by the next event in the dome, you'd realize that it looks way different from the place the VGMS was held.
A car for Ghana?
Well, at least I know for a while it will be there. It will be sure for a while. For a while, that's what I know.
The next music awards are to know.
Yamea Duma next music awards will be there.
But once maybe a car park for conference center, a coach conference center, where will we park our cars?
So what follow VGMS you know?
Not for VGMS, yeah, they call State House. But more we be other AU events or conference center no. Where would they park the cars? Because where a car park?
So Unima, that car park is not even able to take up to 50 cars. It's a very small car park. Naturally, in the conference center itself for a while now, since the other car park was given to the other dome, has not been actively and has not really had a car park. Usually, beer for whatever event you are using, don't want to use the State House car park. Unfortunately for all of us, the State House has a huge car park. State House in Dancheng, when you go to the Blue Mall side now, or golf court near which now, there's a large car park there. Beyond that, Woko Stadium side now, there's a large car park there. The parking around that space there, it has never been a problem.
Still on the dome, no. On the nights, I saw 2 entrances. I don't know the entrance that you saw for the audience. I saw the platinum and then the gold. Yeah. How many entrances were there? Because I'm not for complaining.
For that night, there were 2 entrances. In fact, 3 entrances. There was a backstage entrance, then there was 2 front entrances. Now, we share even the conference center made auditorium now. That's the same structure. 2 entrances and then the backstage entrance. So that's yes, yeah. And then there are some little entrances to the sides as well, but those are for backstage. It's all part of the backstage access, just as the conference center itself is structured. And it is the basic planning for a lot of auditoriums around the world, except the very large capacity ones now. It were multiple entrances and exits to stadiums now. But generally, what proper theater setup, usually you see only 2 entrances and a backstage access. And that is exactly what this auditorium also has. But moving forward, there will be a different access that leads to the washrooms in the Akeka home. Like I said, it's work that is not finished. Until once the work is finished, the entrances and exits will be clearer, and then the backstage access will also be a lot clearer, and you'd see it. Yeah.
Let's go to the main event. I want for unlike previous years, we drew before the foliage of AICC now more machines will go through what sound. But this year's event from State House opposite main entrance, no quiet check your tag as in tickets. Also, we drew main auditorium. The only thing they check is ticket. There's nothing to check. Say a two show home, pepper spray show home, second show home. This year, what happened?
Once the show starts, I become a producer, not a communicator or a planner anymore. Usually I'm locked backstage. Last time I didn't say a show be a ping. Because we're backstage, making sure the show is going well. But as part of the planning, there was a machine now with him by a phone. And that one, a few people have confirmed the experience that Mudru Hono. Sabia Udru Hono, so I experienced it. I don't know, Sabia at that point, battery Nakolu or the person who was supposed to do it wasn't there. But I know said that was a plan because that's also to check metals and some of these things that you speak about. It's a lot of people that we have checked. Say your database of clientele, usually we pick feedback from. Some of them have also said Nokre, they got that exercise. You check almost say Nokre ne create traffic or gates nano. It means say that feedback but that was the plan to check everybody. The so crown knife and BB and all that. But I cannot say for sure say it was done for everybody. Yeah.
Issue about ticketing. Did you sell more ticket than the venue could accommodate? Because where I had the platinum ticket, even though I didn't buy, I had to stand, and then I had several people standing by me at the entrance of the platinum gate. Almost why am I? Could it be that motor ticket in the bro and say what happened on the night?
Tickets number so. On the contrary, we had a lot of tickets left unsold. What we realized later on is you see there were a number of dignitaries in the auditorium. and dignitaries in so they have their entourage, bodyguards and their kick home. And some of these people also took seats that they weren't supposed to near there. You cannot blame them. Once you are inviting dignitaries, we probably should have made room for something like that. And then, of course, at certain points, some of the external crew and your original crew, when you're doing something like this, you engage a lot of third parties. Some of the third party suppliers in the account, some of them had taken seats. What I do know for sure, and I said, tickets were definitely not oversold. But for some strange reason, which we are also still investigating, the seats were full. There were also a number of empty seats in there, but Ibia, the nature of the auditorium, Ibia baby originally, you will not be able to spot where the seats are. That is where maybe failure from Usher's part, because I was Usher's no to me identify where the empty seats are to be able to fill them. But in age, I mean, some of these things do happen. People also sat where they were not supposed to sit. I mean, we know the case of Shatta Wale, for example. And I've checked with members of my team. None of them is aware. Maybe you drew honor and on it, ashes no more on Kasai. But at that point, nobody will escalate it to any of us. But in the initial planning, it never came out. So it's not audience, baby. Yeah. It's not audience, why would the organization worry itself and still give him about 4 or 5 tickets, if I'm not mistaken, which are platinum tickets for him to be able to sit in front with his fellow stars and artists. It's an idea.
I'm trying to check press statement now, I'm gonna say I quote, as planned and communicated to the organizers on the morning of the event, Shatta Wale was going to sit among his fans in the standard ticket section.
No, definitely not communicated to me, and no member of my team has confirmed communication. I'm yet to know who they spoke to. Because on that morning, I don't remember speaking to any member of Shatta Wale's team. If we spoke at all, it would probably be about sound check time or rehearsal time. Mekaisa, at some point, because we gave him accommodation at Movenpick Hotel. That is himself, Samini, Stonebwoy, and a few others. Mekaisa, I asked them if they had checked in, and they said, they were on their way to check in. It was a BBC. But beyond that, we did not have any other discussion. But Charterhouse team, no, maybe they spoke to somebody else. The people that I've asked, nobody has said so many. So I don't know who they spoke to.
The incident that happened, I'm sure one can say the one here because of your production, but you've seen videos. Who is to be blamed?
Oh, yeah, it's unfair because you were there in the auditorium. With the can't say I was backstage. I've seen videos. It's one auditorium. Who is to blame? From what you saw, you are a better eyewitness than I was, because camera I'm sure it's been edited, so I would not have the full picture. But fortunately, you were in the auditorium. What did you see and who do you think was to blame?
Mekana Ghana Foka. Almost ubine co stage, Kwanko stage.
What do you think? Who would you blame?
So what do you think?
And some minute all kind of drink because it's a neither here nor there debate. Say, young fan of some we my mini it drew bonnet. Some person for airports a quabultry. Minim say and your papa illegal. It drew bonena menomiano. Yes, say Sabio mamma nom fizzy drink beer and come. Team naminum say, a mamma nom fizzy drink. And I be a year can be no into mante. You could draw a porter wow come on what to cook so near genum beer and I'm a nom yenami wee. When you come, I didn't say. When I had a fizzy drink no goose. One for fizzy drink no goose one can move. Internet dodo na kase no cre dia Stonebwoy ye na wanya de cry and dia manka na meboa. I mean it's not pardonable wo baby so wo betwinchi wo ni padodo say mo wrong. Nanso dia yenua be ma Shatta Wale nso ye no nso wrong. Enya wo moment you be moment. So person ko chia no, o person ko ye den, o person ko ye it was totally uncalled for. Into both the artists were right. Maybe the message me and say and I'm here and be here and I'm here be here. Provocation dear Bema dear. Just say your ability to be able to control your temper so and what makes you, who you are, your total makeup. Into minimum from so and echo by. Ebia Stonebwoy so or can send the past experiences in the kika who this kind of aggression ebia on also boo kakra into no year do bit me defending him until we cannot blame him. But said the TBA both artists were wrong. But said the okay no we be sorry anka we probably won't be here.
There was a pepper spray. There were two pepper spray no free Shatta camp and also free Stonebwoy camp.
But you mean
I said Marco police report.
I police reports na na yanya pepper spray and count because many scientist and a many chemical engineer na me hu say substance here e wo hu pepper spray na me wo backstage and a rush your staff ni be by be pre some had to be rushed to the hospital in my car because the ambulance on site was full and some had to be rushed to my to the hospital in my car na dey keka ho and at that point na dey and obi so almost spray bibi gum from him. Me personally, I never had the opportunity to experience it. I didn't know what it was. I cannot say that was pepper spray. Now, so meeting police for no in their summary sheet to say at the end of my church or no, Omar said they had another person in custody, and that person was believed to be the one who sprayed pepper spray into the atmosphere. I do not know the person. Minhun ni mumpu into minimum crowd more kana seven. Minim campo fee.
What's me? I calculated the number of people injured who got injured on the night.
Oh, our staff there, I can say we had about 3 staff who were injured. Mekano so your staff there was one other lady be a minim baby free, but we catered for her health bills and everything, and she's also fine. And aside that, mentioned ante any
artists no be complaining.
Fortunately, artists no be impra. Some of the band members normally see on my phones near the area good giddy near there, but obiem nyamiadum obiem bra.
Was the Shatta Wale incident planned?
I wouldn't know. I would have to ask them.
I mean, planned with the organizers.
Oh, why? Zion, means started a planning program for about a year. Kill myself to build a dome in 5 days. Pay artists, rehearse them, spend God knows how much on publicity, do a nominees jam, do an experience concert, and then I'll go and plan something that would destroy my own event. I must be mad. Debbie, never. To what end? The VGM is already as big. We're beaming across the world. We're in over 45 countries, live in over 45 countries across Africa, thanks to DSTV. MTV base partner in this year. We had Sony Music representatives, we had the Orchard representatives, we had Kanya King, Mobo Awards UK president, founder and president in the auditorium. Why would we need to plan something like this? For what? When we're already getting the right mileage, the right attention. We had representatives sent all the way from Barbados because someone follow VGM is to what? Why would we want to plan something like this?
The 4S, Samini, Stonebwoy, Shatta Wale, and Samini.
And Shatta.
Shatta, yeah.
And Sako there.
Were billed to perform on the night. Okay. 2 performed.
2 didn't.
The 2 didn't. I'm sure they took part payment.
I think so, yes.
Oh,
so I did. Me sure say wouldn't it be echo understanding BMR, there's a contract, and every contract has an exit clause. There will definitely be a reason in there. And I'll bet you there will definitely be a reason in there. Into me sure that both parties ever go back to the contract that was signed and do what the contract says is to be done as far as these issues are concerned. But whatever it is, no, I mean, it's still one family. And there's no bad blood between Charterhouse and any of the 2 acts. Charterhouse reported the case because by law, so your party crowd with you now for me, you are required by law, mandated by law to report. One report here, police beats me a show. You were required to report it because there were a lot of dignitaries in that auditorium. Yan report here, you beats me a Yan report it with malice. We reported because that's what the law requires us to do. Yeah.
Reporting dinner much.
Oh, yeah, I said, yeah, program. No, this is what happened. We'll be Jenny Award, and I be sorry, I saw more stage, and I turned into a scuffle. And, we want to report that there was a fight on our premises. That's all. That's exactly what happened. Or let me say, that's what I saw. You want all short reports, and so it's based on what you see. And yes, you could not quote say, well, reports mostly say, who saying, the only you know, in Metro,
Mene George Kray, head of communication for Charterhouse, and Eddie Nkomo about whatever happened on 18th May. I mean, 19th May because now it's Sunday around 1 o'clock dawn. And assembly here. You know, were you worried? Say, Vodafone will be pulling out for the subsequent events.
My immediate worry wasn't with the headline sponsor; it was the safety of everybody. My immediate worry was the safety of the people in that auditorium. My immediate worry was the safety of the artists, the nominees, the awards presenters, the guests that had come to watch. My wife was in that auditorium. I mean, you don't expect me to have been a year there. My immediate worry was the safety of everybody in that auditorium, and my colleagues, the staff, the crew. There were people who were sitting high up, almost scaffold, so it was very lights near there. Those were the things that were immediately on my mind. Quickly I give my car out, no hospital, dispatch ambulances, make sure say everybody, the immediate attention was on safety, make sure say everybody was okay. After that, now of course, headline sponsor, so MI some Vimbi to be able to continue the show, because in the chaos and everything, you entered the auditorium at a point, and I realized that headline sponsor and the team, no, the entire Vodafone, they were still seated, not even moving, unwavering. They were there. They had sat down. So no put to what, then who are you not to continue the show? So they showed their support, and it really was encouraging. And after that, they've come out to issue a statement that, confirms their continued support for Ghanaian music in the account. We're only hoping and praying, say, yes, of course, our relationship with Vodafone will continue, and we are hopeful, say, it will continue. They've been a good partner.
After the I didn't see BBA say.
Oh, yeah, say we had problems with the screens, with the lights, with the sound, but due to experience, a few backups that were on hand, the show was able to continue. Yeah, but ABS say, okay.
Mrs. Ayiwale Teresa spoke on either Joy, one of the multimedia platforms, and then she was quoted to have said that they would sanction or ban Shatta and Stonebwoy for the other hours now. What that happened?
I don't recall her using the word ban. I think so. She made it clear that the VGM has terms and conditions, and I'm sure so we are aware. And terms and conditions, they've been put in place to protect the scheme. Now, terms and conditions, it comes with punitive measures. I'm sure that you're all patch and say the board will sit and look at some of these punitive measures, and whichever one can be meted out as far as this problem or this action they see is concerned now. Whatever action has to be taken will be taken as far as those terms and conditions are concerned.
So they can be sanctioned for maybe about 3 or 4 episodes of the awards?
Oh, it can also be that they would just have to write an apology letter or render an unqualified apology or just sign a bond of good behavior. It could be anything from next to nothing to something very severe. Yeah.
Artist of the year and most popular song of the year and announced on the night. No, a radio station Kumasi, Kesbin FM, I've forgotten the presenter's name. Like with all confidence, said that artist of the year is Stonebwoy and the most popular song of the year, My Level by Shatta Wale. I'm sure you've seen that video, you've watched it, or you've heard it somewhere.
I have heard. I'm yet to see the video in full. I think I've seen portions of it. But in which, there's nothing to worry about. Actually, there will be a press conference at Alisa Hotel, and at that press conference, every matter related to those two categories will be unveiled. And there's no need for panic.
But okay,
oh, there's no need for panic. Yenchen press conference. Enche. It's just less than 24 hours away. Enche. Oh, Yenchen press conference. Enche. 24 hours. It's not fair.
So, what is the way forward? Because we had British High Commissioner there, we had Ministers of State. What is the way forward for our next time? Be saying no NCB.
And on Tinedi kind a release a press statement to apologize to all the stakeholders that were involved. After that, of course, internally, so we've done our internal meetings and realized that so we could have done a few things a little differently or somewhat better. Moving forward, we'll find a way to be a little more stringent with our security. What may happen is that guests may be a little more uncomfortable, but if that's what it would require to ensure that we can have an incident-free event, that's what we'd have to do.
Now, something also happened on the night where Amachide crowned Kwame Eugene as the new High Life King. Was that scripted and as on one
On Pacho, I think it was a part of their act. Usually, if you want to have an exceptional show, we engaged various people. That particular act was designed, planned, and rehearsed by Kiki Banson of Pal Media and EKB Records. And I think it was part of their act. But Amachi Dedena, he has always had a lot of faith in Kwame Eugene as the future of high life music. Yeah, he has always had faith. Someone performing pen while London near there. And he has a lot of respect for the young man. And he thinks the young man has a bright future in high life. And I said, oh, Crown, yeah, I mean, I don't think it was staged. I think it was a part of their act. And I won't be surprised if Amachi Dede was the one who proposed. So I won't be surprised. Yeah.
Obisi Adena Usun was Hit FM.
It's not been easy, Zion. Oh dear, you've been with us from the start. A few some of us wanted to use it to make a strong statement. A lot went into it, a lot of sleepless nights. A lot of sleepless nights, a lot of hard work. It's seeing your colleagues being rushed to the hospital, your guests running helter-skelter, seeing all the pandemonium, and the fact that the show was never the same again. The thing you planned, you couldn't deliver it. It was never the same again that very second. Yeah, because you know what the world would have been talking about by now. And I can assure you, we probably would have made the headline of an American or a British newspaper that says, Grammys, watch out, VGMS is coming. Because we know what we had cooked. And what breaks the heart most is that two of the biggest acts in the country, Debi Amekase Sanka, a bricklayer, and a painter, and a doctor, and a nurse, and a carpenter, and a teacher, Nimbia or auditorium, Nibina say show na. Kenya Mea. To set the musicians for whom you have told so much and had sleepless nights, for them to have their big night and look good across the world. That is what makes me weep. Yeah.
Last question, Kra. After the incident happened, did it affect other things of the show?
The show was never the same again. What you saw was not what we planned. Some of the award presenters had left. Some of the nominees, even some of the nominees left. Some of the various people had various roles to play in the script. Amachi Dede and Kwame Eugene act was supposed to have been introduced by someone. Jocelyn Duma was supposed to introduce the Burna Boy act. There was supposed to be another act. That was KOD was supposed to have introduced another act. I think the Amachi Dede act, Amachi Dede Kwame Eugene was supposed to have been introduced by KOD. John Dumelo was supposed to have introduced Stonebwoy. And various people had various roles to play on that stage. Somebody else was supposed to even introduce Shatta Wale, and that one was supposed to even happen from the audience. So we had about one main stage with two wings on the sides and one projection in the middle. That projection at some point was supposed to even carry a giant piano. And that was how Kiddy's act was even supposed to have started. And a lot of things were thrown out of the window. A lot of things. What you saw was not what was planned. And I can tell you for sure.
Now, artist of the decade. Did you know your artist of the decade from the day you thought about having it, or as time went on, more artist of the decade?
If you knew Artist of the Decade, there wouldn't have been 10 nominees. We knew 10 people that deserved that honor. But we also knew that we had only one prize, and it had to go to somebody. At the end of the day, when the votes came, that was the person that won it.
Votes came from where? How did you select it?
The board was voted solely for by the board. And the board voted, and that was the winner. So later this week, the results of all the votes will be released. The general results, and people will see how people fared.
Final ways.
Yeah, there's my headline sponsor, Vodafone. Any more media partners? Felix Afi, you are part of a lead media team, and you guys have been phenomenal. Madaro money, Abedru baby Adri. Yabesra and say, Moma Yenjai negative na isi wohono. Regardless, there were still positive stories to tell on the night. Let us project the positive stories. The world is still looking at us. Said the Abaya, you bit me a proper fee. I may fear, said the Abaya, dash and bit me a crabasher. Vodafone Ghana Music Awards, me Sebu, Igua, Monuma be remit me, and Menjadum tuning. It will not really affect me directly. But let us continue to celebrate our musicians. Let us continue to create platforms and opportunities for them. If we recognize them here, the world will see, notice them, and recognize them too. Into me and Yabako, Liam Pushi Ghana Music and Quitri.
I wanted to let you go back to my last question. How do we solve the Shatta Stonebwoy Adeno?
Let us get them to live together in one house for 2 months. Just the two of them. lock them in, not in prison or in cell, in a house. Give them food, don't give them internet, don't give them TV, don't give them anything. Just give the two of them food, enough food. No visitors, no loneliness, they will talk to each other, they would bridge each other, they would realize. I feel say it all has to be opinion from Rimby. They need to be called to order. And nipa nyadi and so I was with me if you need to make us a minion, the you 1 year. I love Shatta Wale. For God's sake, we share the same middle name, Niama. I love Stonebwoy. He is a great artist. Shatta Wale is a great artist. I love them both. But Menko Kase DC, you know. Stonebwoy idea because he was provoked. No. Sansona Menko Kase DC and Shatta Wale idea because he was just going to congratulate Stonebwoy. No. It was wrong. And they are both my brothers. I'll plead with them, say, let us not do some of these things to ourselves. Let us not do some of these things to ourselves. They were both wrong, and I hope so when they sit and reflect upon it, they will both realize they have done their funds, they have done themselves, they have done the scheme, they have done their following, they have done the whole Ghana, they have done every single leader in that auditorium, from Ministry of Information, Minister for Information, Honorable Barbara Otin Jesse, Minister for Foreign Affairs, Madam Shelley Ayokobuchi, British High Commissioner Ian Walker, the gentleman from the Orchard, Mr. Ben Oldfield, MTV-based representatives, Barbados representatives, Alison Hines, Phil Phillips, from all over the world who were seated in that auditorium. They have done them wrong. And we have disgraced ourselves.
But do you believe the reason that he was going to congratulate him?
It doesn't matter. It was not your moment. You want to congratulate him, you could stand where you are and clap. Or everybody knows you are a legend when it comes to social media. You could just, guys, guess who just won Reggae Dancehall Song of the Year? Ah, boy, it's still my award, but still, shouts to Stonebwoy. How nice would that have been? You just write it there. It's still my award. Ian, the Charterhouse post still my award, though. But Charlie, still, let's give that for Stonebwoy. Zion Kenya Fe. There were so many ways we could have done this. So many ways we could still have dialed up the rivalry without necessarily stopping the show in that way. That's the thing.
Thank you very much. My name is George Kwe, and I can about a year VGMS 20th edition. I'm not next year, April or May, and yet April, May, and no. It's about 21st edition. 30th edition is about, but you hope that the third decade, no, maybe say, and see my name. I do my comments Felix with my friends Felix. Bye bye.